off the coast of Australia, like the zebra sharks. Again, there's one of the sandbar sharks. Look at that large dorsal fin. In addition to all the bigger sharks in the race, we also have a green moray eel. She's about 6 foot long, very beautiful green moray eel. She tends to hide a lot, but as you're walking through the tunnels, try to keep your eye out for the eel. Here's Scooter again. We also, I don't want to forget about Denver, our loggerhead sea turtle. And he must be taking a nap on the other side of the tank, because he's usually very curious and likes to come over and see what we're doing. But you can't miss him. He's about 3 foot long, his shell, and weighs well over 200 pounds, or close to 200 pounds. Denver's about 16 years old, kind of a juvenile. He does have some growing yet to do. He can get up to be over 4 foot long and maybe up over 400 pounds. So Denver's kind of special to us. He actually came from a aquarium out in Denver. We've had him here at the aquarium for several years. Okay, let's talk a little bit more specifically about sharks. A lot of people may have heard that sharks are just eating machines. All they do is eat and eat. Well, that is really not true, really at all. Sharks eat very little. They'll eat about 3 to 5% of their body weight in a week. All of our bigger sharks are hand-fed or fed by a pole from our biologist 1 time a week, and that's all they need to keep up their systems. Now, in the wild, the job of the sharks is to weed out the sick fish or the injured fish, and that's what they prey on. That's kind of the shark's job in the ocean, is to keep the gene pools good and healthy so that everyone can reproduce and the world's oceans stay very healthy. Now, unfortunately, humans around the world are destroying and killing millions of sharks every year. And what that does is it really upset the balance of nature in the world's oceans. And as you know, the world's oceans provide a lot of food for humans. And if you didn't know it, the marine algae actually provides over 50% of the oxygen for the planet. So the health of the oceans are very, very critical to not only survival of the marine species, but also for human life. So one of the goals of the aquarium here is to show you not only the sharks, but all the species of animals that live in the world's oceans. And hopefully you'll learn something today, become more attached, and see the beauty of these animals, and want to help us to conserve them for future generations to enjoy. Well, I can't think of anything else, so maybe we'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Alrighty. Now, does anyone here have a question for Diver Dennis? If you do, just raise your hand so I can see it. Don't be shy. I saw a couple of abortive hand gestures there. I think some of you are thinking about it, but don't really want to be the first to raise your hand. Yes. No. Sue your safety. What's the stick for?
What's the stick for? That's used as just an extension of her arm, so she can help, just touch me with it when a shark is nearby or any kind of animal. So it's just a safety measure so she can reach a little bit farther as a safety diver to let the other diver know something's he needs to be aware of.
See, what you don't realize is, do me a favor, put your hands out here and then stop when you can see them. Can you do that? Put your hands off to the side and then bring them to your head when you and stop.
Oh, I can see them. Yeah, your peripheral vision, yes. Yeah, I can right by here. Because of the mask, you lose some peripheral vision. So that's where the stick comes into place. You can put it in front of me. Yeah, good point.
That way, he doesn't want to gesture if he gets excited and poke a shark in the head.
What's that thing on the back?
Oh, no, what's the thing on your back?
Oh, the tank on the back? Is the BCD. This is the air tank. And the vest you wear is called a BCD, a buoyancy control device that allows you to pump air into the vest, which makes you rise or lower. And obviously the air tank supplies oxygen and air for me to breathe. That's a good point. It's a very important was Papa's given that.
He likes that. All right, right at the end, what's your question?
Are you allowed to touch sharks?
Are you allowed to touch the shark?
Allowed to touch the sharks? Well, we tend not to. You don't really want to upset or bother the sharks or get them in a defensive mode. Some of them, when they're laying around, you can kind of gently touch, but we tend not to touch them very much.
Now, it's kind of interesting that you brought that up, because we do have an area where you can touch sharks, but it's a different type of shark.
Absolutely. It's a two-finger touch, and mostly are smaller species of sharks that you can't touch with the two fingers. But the bigger guys, we tend to leave them alone as much as we can.
Right there in the front, what's your question?
What type of shark is Scooter?
Now what type of shark is Scooter again?
What type? That is actually a shark ray. Shark rays are kind of a cousin to a shark and a ray. They have some similarities of both, but they are their own species, so it's a shark ray.
I think there's time for maybe one more question. Let's go way in the back. If you're nice enough, so I can hear you.
Do different breeds of types of sharks attack each other?
Now do different breeds of shark or types of shark, do they attack each other?
Well, that's a good question. I've never had that one, but I'm sure in the wild some of them do. As a predator, they have some of their own areas that they have to protect, but I would say it's fairly uncommon, but I'm sure that they do. I don't know if you have another answer to that, Missy?
Well, when you're a baby shark, you're very small. And oftentimes baby sharks wind up meals for other sharks or other animals in general. So that's when that's most likely to happen. For the big guys like that, they're most likely going to go after hurt fish, think that they know they can catch. Right?
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
you agree.
Very
Right.
good.
I think we have time for one last question, right there in the front.
What are the shark's teeth at?
Now, where are the shark's teeth at? We see the teeth in the sand tiger. What about the other guys?
They all are in their mouth, but the sand tiger sharks, they actually have so many teeth that they can't close their mouth. Most sharks can close their mouth, and they can have up to 7 rows of teeth. Because they're constantly feeding and they have to use their teeth to hold on to their prey, they do lose a lot of teeth. Some shark species can lose up to 30,000 teeth in their lifetime, so they have to constantly be replacing their teeth. But for most species, they're up inside their jaws, like our teeth are. But you do have a few species where you can see the teeth, like the sand tiger.
Well, thank you very much, Diver Dennis. Everybody, let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you all very much.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming to the aquarium today. As you exit, just abandon ship back to the left.